Hello everybody, this is my video on the Czech manufactured CZ82. Now these were coming into the country for a while and you could get them for pretty cheap. I think I overpaid a little bit for this one, especially with the condition that it's in. I mean, I don't really mind that look, but I think I overpaid a little bit, but it was right at the tail end of when they were really coming in, you can get them. So I think you might still find a good deal around, but I think the time's pretty much passed for these. I've really been trying to find a CZ83 and 380 because this one is the 82 and the 9mm Makarov, and so it'd just be nice to have a more common caliber to shoot. Well, I guess not right now, but still I really enjoy this handgun. It's reliable for the most part. It does have some feeding issues, which originally I thought was the recoil spring, so I ordered the replacement one from Wolf, but the problem didn't resolve itself. But I determined that it's one of the magazines that's causing the issue. So real quick on the magazines, here's something interesting that I noticed, is that this is the one that came with the gun. You can see right here it has these little grooves and the same little X sword marking, which is, let's see if I can find it real quick. Yeah, it's matched on the pistol right there. And this one's loaded. This one isn't. And there's nothing in there. But this is the one that I ordered from, I believe, Gun Mag Warehouse. And see if you see the difference on it. There's the line going through the back. This one doesn't have that. This one manufactured CZ, and this one's flat on the side without that little sword. So I would just assume that this one's probably the civilian one, and I think this is the one that's giving me the problems. But yeah, like I said, I paid a little bit less than $300 for this, and let me show you really quick everything it came with. It just came with the handgun in this cardboard box with the foam. You see, 9x18. And then it also came with this really nice, I think, this leather holster. In the box it's a little bit flat, so you kind of need to squish it a little bit, but I mean it really fits this gun nice and snug. And it is leather, but it feels like there's some metal insert of some sort. It's really, really rigid. It's a nice quality one. Another thing that this comes with is this little lanyard. If you're paying attention, you saw that there's this little loop here, and I have no idea what this is for. If anybody could tell me what they use these for, I have absolutely no idea why you would even need one of these. But yeah, these are pretty, well, I wouldn't say modern, but they have a lot of luxuries that some other surplus handguns don't, especially other CNR handguns. Like I said, one earlier being the double stack, I believe 12 round magazine. It's almost fully ambidextrous with the safety being on both sides of the pistol, as well with the magazine release. The only thing that is not is this slide catch, and I do not believe it's reversible either. It's just going to be on this side, which, I mean, you could still use your pointer finger. So I mean, I guess all in all it's not that big of a deal. This one shoots a little bit high. You can't really do anything about that. Well, you can drift this sight left to right, and it looks like this one might be replaceable with the pin, but I like the sights on this. They're not too bad. Just the 3-dot. They're really dirty when I got it. Had to clean them up a little bit because it was pretty much black, but this one looks like it's seen some use. The disassembly on it is really easy. You just want to make sure that there's no magazine in the gun and it's empty. And it won't disassemble if the magazine's in it, because there's the magazine will block the little piece in there. So you just pull down on the trigger guard. I find it helps if you pull forward a little bit and down. See, that'll pop out. and then it's just as simple as pulling the slide back, pulling it up, and releasing it. You see, I believe this is the 13 or 16 pound recoil spring from Wolf Springs. They had like 3 different options, and I just chose the kind of middle of the road one. Another interesting thing about this pistol is it actually has the, I believe, polygonal is what it's called, rifling, where I think the process of it is they twist the barrel instead of cutting the grooves in it. So I don't know if I'm going to be able to show this, but if you look down the barrel, you won't be able to see really any grooves. There's little lines in there, and it is rifled. So if you buy one of these and you think it's all shot out, don't really freak out about it, because that's just how it was made. Yeah, real quick, I'll show you how I changed my firing pin spring, or how to change a firing pin if you need to do that on these. It's pretty easy. So by looking at it, you can kind of see this little line right here is the start of a little plate. And so how you would get that open is you would just use some little tool, maybe a punch, or I'd suggest a little piece of plastic, maybe something less marring, but I don't have anything like that. So you'll just push it in. This thing will shoot. Make sure it's not aimed at your face or at anything, or put your thumb over it so it doesn't shoot across the room. And you just want to pull that. Just push it down and that piece will slide out. And you just want to slowly let that out from there. And then you have your firing pin and your spring if you need to replace either one of those. To put it back together is simple. You pretty much just do it in reverse. The tricky part is, though, is holding this all the way down while you slide this little plate on. And like I said, if you don't have something that's marring and that's non-marring and you have a nice pistol, you're probably gonna scratch it right here. So, ooh. Give me 1 second here. Alright, here's the method. You just kind of put the plate on to where it's going to be holding that firing pin down just a little bit. Just set it in the little grooves right there. Then you're just going to want to push it the rest of the way up and make sure that it clicks into place, because you don't want that little plate slipping out. To put it back together, just put the recoil spring back over the barrel, pull the slide over, down, and then push the trigger guard back into place. And when I ordered the replacement spring for the recoil spring for this, Wolf actually sent me another firing pin spring for free. So, I mean, I guess that's nice. I didn't have to pay for anything. This gun doesn't have a magazine safety, so it will still shoot without the magazine in it. It is double action, single action, but there's no decocker. See, it's just a single action safety. The only way to get it to double action is kind of pull the trigger. Make sure you grab the hammer tight. As soon as the hammer goes down a little bit, I just let it go. Because then even if you drop it, as long as the trigger's not being pulled, there's a little gap. So I wouldn't worry too much about that. Still, you want to be careful though. So yeah, like I said, these are CNR. So I think that they're pretty modern to be able to get them with a CNR license. I mean, the caliber is not all that. It's not all that. It's not around anymore. It's a little bit more powerful than a 380, a little less than your standard 9. And the companies that I found that make it are kind of sucky. I don't know if you can still buy surplus ammo, but I know that this stuff, the B&T, looks like it's all brass. leaves this really weird brassy powder all over the inside when you shoot it. I would not recommend buying the B&T. There's little flakes of brass all in there. You have to clean it out. The finish on this is kind of, it's not like a bluing or anything like that. It's almost like a thick paint. Like you can see the difference in the metal and where like it's kind of raised up because of the paint, it seems. I mean, I guess it worked at the time, but did not hold up too well. Another problem with this one when I bought it is the grips were a little bit loose, and they're fine right now. If you keep shooting it though, they would just loosen up over time, so you just gotta put a little bit of Loctite. Just take the screw out, just put a little Loctite and work it in so that the screw doesn't work itself loose over time while it's shooting. Just make sure you get the temporary one and not the permanent one. And yeah, that's pretty much it.